Hi, this week I watched Maestro, Bradley Cooper's film about the life of Leonard Bernstein, the composer conductor who had such a colourful life during much of the 20th century. Um, to begin with, I thought this was awful. It's been nominated for a huge number of awards. Cooper has been lionised by his colleagues. I thought this film was absolutely dreadful. Um, Cooper seems determined to try and win an Oscar by the most not underhand, but pandering means necessary. And after this and A Star is Born, he seems determined to write, direct, produce, and act in films where he plays a genius of some sort. Previously, the country and western singer in A Star is Born, here Bernstein himself. And it just looks as though he's trying to associate the idea of genius with himself in the audience's mind. Um, I thought his performance in the film was ridiculous. Both he and Carey Mulligan sport bizarre accents that was impossible to take seriously. It sounds like they're doing joke impressions in a comedy sketch, um, and the makeup looks strangely unnatural on them. The direction is frequently awful. There are dramatic scenes um, that are performed in a single locked off wide shot, even with characters in the far distance where we can't even see their faces or even see them move. There are intense conversations happening, and it sucks the drama out of the movie completely. It's as though Cooper has absolutely no idea what he's doing. The script is terrible with awful dialogue that doesn't sound even remotely plausible for a human being. It's as though Cooper's never spent a day on planet Earth in his entire life. The whole film is just a monument to his own ego, and yet it's so incompetently made that it's really quite shocking. Um, it reminded me in many places of those old Jesus films, The Greatest Story Ever Told, King of Kings, that kind of thing, where the life of Christ is recounted, but in such a way as to only appeal to those who already know the story. You're never told what is so compelling about Jesus, only that this is the story. In the same way, here, we're never told why Bernstein was so remarkable. What was his gift as a conductor? What was his genius as a composer? We're never told that. The film is far more interested in his very dull home life with his boring wife, played by Carey Mulligan, whose character has really no personality. The film is incredibly superficial. And the fact that Bernstein was presumably bisexual, the film is reluctant to put a label on it, which at least is relatively accurate to the period. Um, and they eventually break up, and it's done so clumsily and so with such banality. This is not a film, I think, that teaches anyone anything. It's so badly directed, badly written, superficially created. Um, I'm really shocked that this has been regarded as one of the best films of the year when it's one of the worst I've seen in some time. Um, Cooper is so desperate to win an Oscar, so desperate for the approval of others, and so intent on associating himself with genius. It's really embarrassing watching a film like this and seeing someone who is so pathetic in their requirement for adulation and then turning out a turd like this. It's I'm fairly sure it's the worst film I've seen of 2023. I can't imagine anything worse. Even Leave the World Behind, I thought at the very least had some competence to it. This is utterly awful. I turned it off initially after 15 minutes. I had to struggle through it over the course of a week, watching it in various chunks to just finish it. And it's a very long time since I've had to do that to any film out of choice rather than having to break off out of necessity. It's borderline unwatchable. Um, I have no interest in seeing any further work by Bradley Cooper. I think it's bizarre that this was produced by Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese, presumably without any input from them, because they are at least competent, even at their absolute worst. Um, Cooper is interested only in his own ego and his own career, not in making any statement of art or entertainment, I don't think there's anything that he could do that is possibly worth my time. So this is the last I'll probably see of him.